Hey, what's up, everybody? I wanted to post a quick video that's a response video. Rarely do I do response videos, but this one's going to be a little different. So I'm responding to the questions on my recent Instagram post. Now, if you don't follow my Instagram page at the Dolce Diet, well, you done messed up because it's pretty awesome. Lots of exercise, lots of motivation, lots of food, lots of meal prep, lots of shit talk, because we should talk shit there. Lots of faux fad fitness folk bashing, with love, of course. But what this post was on, yesterday I posted a photo of sliced watermelon. Not triggering, but I knew it would be triggering in that I said, hey parents, we get asked all the time. I mean, every single day, I or my team is asked by parents, specifically, Dolce, how do we get our kids to eat better? Whether it's how do we get them to stop eating like crap, or how do we get them to start eating more food that is healthy and nutritious. And my response is simply, you must make healthy food and healthy lifestyle a lifestyle. It's a part of their everyday. They don't know any better from the time they're born. Now, we have a forthcoming baby book coming out that'll cover a lot of the preconception and trimesters and post and all that. Mostly from my wife's perspective, from the mom's perspective. Dad has a lot to do with it. But it's the lifestyle you cultivate in your home that matters most. So, we have two daughters, both in diapers. And our daughters have never eaten candy. They've never eaten processed sugar, nor have they ever consumed synthetic chemicals. Our daughters are two of the happiest girls you will ever meet. Two of the healthiest girls you will ever meet. They are off the charts on every statistic. They're 99 plus percentile on every measurable medical statistic. Even when it comes to visual-spatial awareness at very early ages, they were able to track the what's that little stick the doctor uses as a very early age, and able to reach out and grab it and grab the doctor's finger, and the doctor will have pull them up at very early ages. Now, I don't say that because I'm proud dad, though I am. I say that because as a coach, I can see the development of these young organisms, right? And that's been deliberate to a degree by my wife and I in cultivating a household, an environment, a lifestyle that allows the full expression of their utility. That's all. I don't want my girls to be anything other than what they want to be. I don't want my girls to be anything that society wants them to be. I only want my girls to be exactly what they want to be, and only can they do that if we cultivate an environment for them to develop optimally. So whether our daughters will be ballerinas or pianists or judokas or astrophysicists or entrepreneurs or fill in the blank of 1,000 different other possibilities. Whatever they want to be in life, we must cultivate an environment that allows them to fully express their potential. That is the inherent edict of parenting, to raise your children to be healthy, fully functioning, fully capable adults with more opportunities than we had. Excuse me, as I whip this out, my cold brew from the Baguette Cafe. Ooh, it's so strong. Grow some hair here. So, our children have never eaten candy, nor will they, through the ability with which we can control, they will not. And the question was simply, and you're probably thinking this right now during this little preamble of mine, well, what happens, and here's where all the idiots and the haters and the morons came out. Oh yeah, Dolce, because that's how I picture them talking, male or female. Oh yeah, Dolce, well, it's normal to have candy. Like, it's normal to have a Coke. What's so bad about Coke? What's so bad about a little candy here and there? What are you going to do on Halloween, Dolce? What are you going to do? Excuse me. The voice hurts my throat. The idiot voice. What are you going to do when your kid goes to their idiot friend's house and their idiot parents are slogging down sodas and big gulps and candies and chips and Doritos and all this other filth that is poison, right? It's indisputable. It's poison, right? We all agree that it's poison. We just allow a certain percentage of poison into our life because, quote, well, everybody else does, and it's normal. And you got to let them be kids, Dolce. You got to let them live a little, Dolce. Well, that simple statement, you got to let them live a little by poisoning them, makes no sense, right? I'm not going to, quote, intentionally poison my children to allow them to, quote, live life. No, that makes no sense. My job as a parent, your job for those listening as parents, is to teach your child how to make decisions for themselves, is to set the templates for future decisions and interactions, right? It's why I tell my wife I love her in front of my daughters, why I hug my wife and I kiss her on the cheek, why I open the door for my girls, why I'm polite to neighbors, why I say hello, why I tell my daughter to say thank you to the cashier at the grocery store, right? To say please if when we're ordering a meal at a restaurant. This is the whole point of being a parent, right? To raise good, healthy, strong kids. Better than me. My job is to raise better children than me. To give them more opportunity. Yours also. So the concept of poisoning our children by feeding them known toxins through candy bars, through soda pop, through processed juice, Capri Sun, Sunny D, Pop-Tarts, Snickers bars, Kit Kats. I don't even know what all the fancy candies are nowadays. It's the same reason we don't have cable TV. We don't have television in our home. Because I'm not letting mass media conglomerates market to my children. I'm not letting SpongeBob SquarePants into my home. I'm not letting Bart Simpson or South Park into my home at these early formative years of my children's life. Now, eventually, I watch South Park. I haven't watched in a while. I watch Family Guy. I haven't watched in a while. That's adult humor. And there becomes a time in life when we as adults can start making decisions for ourselves. So, our job here as parents is to prepare our children to make healthy, proper decisions for themselves as they get older, as they get more exposed to the external world and external reality. So at the early age, the earliest ages, it is our job, our responsibility to do everything in our power that is best for our children. And most people don't do that. Most people don't even consider that. Easter. What do you do on Easter? There's no chocolate bunnies in my house on Easter. There's no chickies, little sugar chickies and candy and gummy bears and whatever goes in there, M&Ms and jelly beans. That doesn't happen. You know what happens? Our kids get books. They get these grand, beautiful, gorgeous baskets. They get books, and they get games, and they get stuffed animals. They get these little organic, delicious, healthy treats. Because there's little treats in there, of course. But they get these massive, beautiful, gorgeous arrangements of all the things that they love. They get toys of science. They get these building blocks so they can create and engineer. They get beautiful stories about being good sisters. You know, that's what they get. And all their favorite little toys, they get little special toys in their Easter baskets. They don't get candy. We're not poisoning our children. And when I posted that on Easter, hey parents, like I'm not telling you what to do, but just consider trying something different. Consider not giving your children processed sugar, synthetic chemicals, and instead give them something different. Give them, I remember Easter was such an amazing day. We had no TV on all day. We had beautiful music playing with the whole families cooking. We had friends over, and we wound up playing games together, playing board games together, just engaging and communicating, and sports in the backyard and going for walks around the neighborhood. Not a single piece of candy was eaten that day. And a lot of people listening are like, what are you talking about? How can you have a holiday without candy? Well, unfortunately, you've been programmed that that's normal. You've been programmed for profit. You get that, right? You've been programmed for profit. Now, don't forget, 2 out of 3 of you will die of lifestyle-related disease as of current stats. And this comes from the CDC, the Center for Disease Control. 2 out of 3 people will die of lifestyle-related disease. Those are the decisions you make. That's not a piano falling on you or getting hit by a bus. That is the decisions you make and the abuse you intentionally put your body through. That number is set to be 4 out of 5 in the next 10 years, statistics say, because we're getting sicker. Childhood obesity is at an all-time high, the highest in recorded history. Childhood diabetes is at an all-time high, the highest in recorded history. If you and I don't start doing something about this, guess what? Those numbers will get worse. Our children will get sicker. Your children will get sicker. And if you don't have children yet, no problem. You can still learn from this and take this into yourself. Take this into your heart. Take this into your own life. And you can slowly start to change your own personal decisions. I grew up eating candy and mac and cheese. I grew up poor. The cheaper the food, the better. The least expensive, the better. That means I could get more. It was tough going for me. But again, my job is to raise my children better than I was raised. And I have health issues, or I had health issues. There's health issues in my family. There's obesity in my family. There's diabetes in my family. There's heart disease in my family. Let's see, I had my grandmother died of diabetes. I don't want to put people on blast, but very close people. One person had, I don't want to put, it's not fair because they're private citizens, so it won't be fair of me to say, but I've had very close people have, my father, massive heart attack. His father, massive heart attack. Lifestyle, I've talked about this in my books. Lifestyle-related issues and diseases. And that was completely lifestyle-related. Their doctor said so. They knew so, but they're men. They're going to eat their fucking fried foods. They're going to drink their beer. They're going to, abuse their body, drink coffee. And they look great physically. My father was fit. His father was relatively fit. But again, it happens. So let's back this up a little bit. We can make the change. We are the change. So what do you do with your children? You do the same thing with food that you plan to do when it comes to heroin, when it comes to unprotected, unsafe sex. The same thing when it comes to standing on the side of a freeway without looking both ways. That's your job as a parent, right? It's to teach your children to look left, look right, look left again, and then look as you're crossing the street the whole time. To tread cautiously, to find the safest possible route. The same thing with food. Our children have only eaten whole food, have only eaten real food, have only eaten organic food, have only or mostly eaten hand prepared. Our children go to the supermarket with us every time we shop. And we allow our children to pick. My daughter picks, it's her watermelon, Victoria's watermelon. She chooses her watermelon. She chooses her apples. We go through and I open up the cartons of eggs and I let her pick which eggs that she wants, all in the supermarket. And her bag of grapes and her blueberries and her broccoli and her kale and her spinach and her carrots. It's all her. So she's vested. She understands and she plays with it. We'll give her a piece of fruit or produce or a beet to sit there and look at and wonder about and play with. She understands that food we then take home. And I sit her up on the counter as I chop it and I show her proper knife handling skills. And I teach her, be very careful. This is sharp. And I put it over here and I chop it on the chopping block. Like we go through, and I don't want to say it's a pain in the ass because it's a beautiful experience, but it's time consuming. And I don't have a lot of time. I'm busy. You're busy. We're all busy. It's time consuming, but it's worth it. So then when the watermelon's all chopped and it's ready, I say, here, which one do you want to share with mommy? Like, which one do you want to share with your sister? Which one can daddy have? And she goes through and she's like, daddy, mommy. And she shares her fruit, her watermelon, loves watermelon. She tries to share with her dog, which is awesome. She shares her fruit with everyone. And she's so proud of that. That's the difference. That's how we raise our children. That's how I hope and I believe and I trust that when our children are faced with decisions in life, they will have these experiences to draw from in order to make their own decisions as young adults, as adolescents, as young men and women, developing men and women, and then as grown men and women. And then hopefully they can raise their children better than I and my wife raised them. What do they do when they go to houses where there's these toxic foods? And I call them toxic foods because, ladies and gentlemen, you know that they are. You know that they are. These toxic foods. It's the same thing as if they walk in a house and the parents of the house are sitting there smoking Marlboros, drinking whiskey. I expect my children to react the same exact way. That's disgusting. That's gross. I'm gonna play out back. It stinks in here. It's stinky. My daughter says, it's stinky, stinky, stinky. If God forbid, I hate those people. If you're one of those scumbags who fucking smoking cigarettes around little kids in cafes or outside restaurants and supermarkets, 10 feet away from the door, you're sitting there puffing fucking cigarettes, well, fuck you. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody wants to smell your fucking death. Yeah, I should do a whole nother fucking video on that. But fuck you. You want to go kill yourself? Go stand behind the fucking back with the dumpster. Go stand where nobody can fucking see you. Go fucking lay down in a grave and smoke your dirty fucking cigarette. Get away from the fucking rest of us, especially if there's fucking children coming in and out. Yeah, that's a whole nother topic, a whole nother conversation. I'm going to get heated on that. How dare you? How dare you? These fucking assholes stand outside Whole Foods smoking fucking cigarettes. These hipster fucking, whatever the fuck you are, little skinny losers, scumbag fucking POSs. Yeah, I'm talking to you, straight fucking to you. Anyway, and every one of you should fucking shame those. Shame. I don't care what your libertarian views are. Hopefully, I'm more libertarian than anything else. But get your fucking death stick away from the fucking healthy people, especially when they're families. Whole other conversation. I digress. Sorry. Get heated. So, to close this up, to wrap this up, parents, you must do your best at all times. Not what's convenient, what is best. Most parents fall into the trap of doing what's convenient, or you conform to what everybody else is doing, all the other parents are doing. Remember, 2 out of 3 of those parents will die of lifestyle-related illness. And unfortunately, those children are looking at even worse statistics because of the abuse those parents are performing on their children's lives. And food abuse, to me, is an abuse. It absolutely is abuse because what does it do? It triggers diabetes. It triggers lifestyle-related illness. It triggers all sorts of disordered eating and body, negative body perception. We deal with it every day here in our office. We see over 2,000 people per year who come through the DOLCE Diet and Fitness Center, and we deal with them and we talk to them and we understand. We drill down deep and understand what's happening in their life. 80, 90 plus percent. Oh, I'd say 100%. Dare I say 99% of the people who come in here have a disordered relationship with their food that directly goes back to childhood tragedy. And a lot of these issues, these quote tragedies, and tragedy is a perception, these tragedies were performed in some way, shape, or form by their parents, or as a result of their parents not giving them the proper coping skills to deal with these decisions that happen in life. As a parent, that is your job. Your job is to prepare your children for what will happen in their life by giving them examples of behavior that are in their best interest. And unfortunately, that means you got to step up. That means you have to live a healthier life. You have to live a better life. That's why you don't walk around dropping the F-bomb. I mean, I curse all the time. When I'm in my house, it doesn't happen. And if it does happen, ooh, I feel terrible, and I correct it, and I correct it, and I correct it, and I work on myself to get better. Same thing with you guys. I am not going to be the reason a 1-year-old curses or a 2-year-old curses, not my daughters. No. Same thing with food. Do not give your candy to your children. Do not allow your children to have candy. You're poisoning them. You are poisoning them. And just know, every time you give them synthetic processed chemicals, specifically sugar, you are poisoning your children. So you can feed them real food and teach them to have a healthy relationship with food, or you can start to poison their body, poison their mind at a very early age and expect them to die early and to die of a terrible illness or disease. I mean, you want to boil it down, that's pretty damn factual. And I'm sorry, not sorry, to give you this information, to pull back the curtain on what's actually happening, because all these sheeple running around your social circle have no idea. They're the same fucking sheeple that will die of these same lifestyle-related diseases. Right? These aren't my facts. These are searchable facts. Everything I've said, please search it up. Nothing here is groundbreaking, right? Nothing here is new. You know and agree with every single thing I'm saying as fact. The only problem that most people have is the implementation, the lifestyle implementation. And that's where I need you guys to step up. Feel free to leave your comments below. I'll do my best to answer. You know, I will publicly blast you and shame you, of course, if you want to continue poisoning your children, or if you say that that's normal and you should be allowed to. And one candy bar, and those of you idiots who say, well, one candy bar or one glass of soda, that won't be a problem. It will be a problem, because that's one of literally thousands. Thousands. It's not just one. So don't fucking be a liar. Don't be a faker. You know, if it's one, it's 1,000. If it's 1,000, it's 10,000. And you set the fucking template for their life to just have one, just have one, just have one. And how many of you people quote, just have one? Right? Oh, just have one. Sneak down to the refrigerator, sneak, you know, in your car and smoke your little cigarette, or, you know, do the, you know, whatever inappropriate things that you're doing. That whole just have one. It's no, just have none. Do what's right. Do what's right. It's your job as an adult. It's your job as a parent. It's your job as a human to do what's right, and to teach our children to do what's right with the knowledge that we currently have. Hopefully that's helpful. Feel free to go to thedolcediet.com. We have over 1,000 free articles, recipes, workout programs, tips, tricks, motivation, and all that. We have the 3 Weeks to Shredded program and the Living Lean program you can sign up for and get in amazing shape. Promo code DolceTube. You'll save 10%. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. That's always at The Dolce Diet. Subscribe to this channel if you want to, or you can block me if you hate what I'm saying. Either way, you know, cool. And leave comments below. You can see I try and be very active in the comment section, and I'll do my best to engage with you guys. So until next time, boom.